What is up, guys? Good morning. It's Charles, mXrevival, mXrevival.com. As you can see, I have a special guest appearance back here. That's Clint Lund from Lund MX. You guys know who he is, I'm absolutely sure of. And you might have also noticed that he and I both have some Chinese dirt bikes with us. One of us is doing jumping jacks back there. He's getting pumped on the Chinese juice. This guy's hilarious. So today we're going to do the Lectron test and the SR300 you've all been waiting for. Well, yeah, he's doing karate in the garage. Dude, I need some of that energy and maybe some of the charisma as well. But Lundy also has the GPX 450, so we're gonna have a good day. We're gonna check out the Lectron for you guys. Finally, we're gonna see what Lund thinks of his GPX. And if you want to learn more about that GPX, I know a lot of you guys have asked me just because I'm doing the SR300. Go ahead and check out Lund MX. You probably already follow the guy, I'm sure of it. And as always, thank you for watching, and let's get into this Lectron Carburetor breakdown video for the SSR SR300. I appreciate you guys. So as you guys can see, the starting is vastly improved. If you have one of these bikes, you may be used to cranking it quite a bit to get it to fire up. Starting is now just push of a button with the choke on. You can turn the choke off pretty much immediately, and as you can hear, the bike just purrs like a kitten now. It's smooth, it's quiet, it starts faster, it's getting what it needs to run properly, and all in all, so far it's been a much more pleasant experience with this carburetor. So I have the idle set to about 3,400 RPM. It sounds really good there. It's very even. As the bike warms up, it actually starts to run even better too, like most machines. So, man, as soon as this thing is up to full operating temp, it screams. So, as you can hear and see, a massive improvement over the 2020 stock unit. And I have some news about the 21 unit if you guys haven't figured it out yet. They actually drop kick the carburetor that comes stock in the 20, the standard Kian 2-stroke style clone, and they've gone with an FCR clone pumper type carburetor that you'd find in like a racing 4-stroke applications. I got my hands on one of those thanks to the boys at SSR. I'm gonna be testing that after the Lectron. That way you guys with the 2021 aren't left in the dark. You're gonna need to figure out the jetting and the settings and all that sort of stuff all over again. It's gonna be a better carburetor stock, and from 2021 up into the foreseeable future, you're gonna get the pumper style carburetor instead of the carburetor that came only 1 year on the 2020 SR300. All right, I'm out here with Clint Lund, and I gotta ask, buddy, what kind of suspension do you have on your bike?
I got the strongest suspension you can get.
For real?
For real.
Oh, let's check it out.
Yeah. Told you.
It really is a strong shock absorber.
Told you.
Damn! All right, guys, on the subject of the 2021 carburetor, we got Lundy over here. He's in pit row building a spark racer like he's the Amish. And I'm gonna go ahead and just show you the carb. I brought it so that I could bust it out and kind of show you guys what's coming on the 21 SR300, the few things that make the new pumper carb work. So let's see here. All right, they were kind enough to send over the new air screen. So we need that, that's part of the deal. We have the new air boot, and the reason we have the air boot is because the bell end on the carburetor is a bit smaller in diameter than the 20 carburetor. So those are 2021 parts. Looks like we have another throttle cable. So this is just gonna go right up into the stock throttle housing where your right hand is. Looks like we have a different intake flange here. So engine side, this is a little bit smaller on the FCR clone than is the 20 carburetor that they have drop kicked. What else? He sent, nice. Okay, cool. He sent like an external style fuel screw, so it's easier to adjust. you don't have one of these, you have to take the carburetor off all the time or sneak a little screwdriver in there. It's a big pain in the you-know-what. And a fuel filter and some inlet line, very cool. And this must be the carburetor, so let's see. Yep, there's the door. So on the side of the FCR carb, this is where you would find the linkage. I'll show you that in just a second. Here's the carburetor itself. And I'll be damned if that isn't spitting image of a Japanese Key and FCR flat slide carburetor. So the reason they went with this over the 20 and what we've been able to fix on the 20 with the Lectron is the stock carb lacks a lot of things that this one has. Mainly this accelerator pump is going to give you a boost of juice off the bottom that the 20 doesn't have with the stock carb. Not to mention there are a million other jetting circuits in here compared to the carb that came on the 20. So this should be a huge improvement. Got a choke, got a hot start. This is the linkage I was talking about. When you roll the throttle forward, it pulls this link, lifts up the slide, and then this is the door for it here. So this is just a little sneak peek up close and personal with the 21 unit. Oh, and look at that. They actually already did the O-ring mod. This is a wire tie they have on the diaphragm rod to the linkage here. So back in the day on these FCR carbs, guys would tie these together so there was no slack in this, which would create a bit of a bog on the bottom. So that helps with bog. I don't know if they're doing that at the factory or if the engineers are doing that in-house in Southern California before they get the bikes out to the dealerships. But at any rate, that's very thoughtful and very cool that they did that, like an old racing mod. Anyways, so that's pretty much that. So we know the stock 20 unit, the two-stroke style carburetor is going to be good for a lot of people. Really mellow power. If you don't want to fiddle with it, it's fine. I wanted more. We went ahead and developed the first Lectron. You guys can find those on mXrevival.com, as you're already aware. Those are working great, getting great testimonials. Then this is the 2021 SR300 setup. So thank you, SSR, for sending this out. I actually have another surprise at the shop that I haven't shown you guys yet. It is going to accompany this after we start testing it. But for now, after today's test with the Lectron, we're gonna go ahead and see what the 21 setup is all about. So that'll be really fun. We'll get this carburetor dialed, maybe get some better settings for you guys. I'm already getting some complaints via email and questions about this unit. And obviously, as you can see, I haven't dealt with it yet, though I am familiar with this style of carburetor and others. So we'll do that next. Should be a lot of fun. We'll keep tweaking and tuning. And that's enough out of me. I think Lundy's about to fire that GPX up, and we're gonna go on our first ride for the day and do the official Lectron test and maybe get some good shots of Lund's ass. So let's do it. What do you think about that? Some shots of that ass.
I'll make sure and do the Ryan Hughes method. You know, the one that you just...
Yeah, damn girl.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
That don't work?
Well, I'll be riding behind you all day. Dirt bag. What's up, bro? You need a tube?
Thanks, sir. Huh?
Hey, where's that made?
China.
All right, here goes nothing. First official ride test with the Lectron Carb and the SR300. I warmed it up a little bit earlier. You guys saw that, how nicely it idles now. Now we're gonna rip this pig. Yeah, nice quiet idle. I do notice that when the bike is cold, like most bikes, it's a little rich, you know, the thing is warming up. I'm probably gonna mess with that circuit, the metering rod, a little bit. But for now, and once we get going, I think it will be fine. I've ridden it quite a bit at the shop, and now we're gonna ride it quite a bit at Hollister Hills, California with Lund MX, no other. Doing the same loop as the very first time we rode out here. Yeah. All right, so far it feels a little bit fat on the bottom. Bike's warming up. I may have to lean the metering rod just a little bit, so we shall see. The power is still nice and smooth and predictable like it was when it was stock. not in terms of lack of power, but predictability, and something that somebody could count on to, you know, be enjoyable to ride, not abusive. So that's a good thing. We're up to a good start. This is Okie Hill. As you can see, we got some rain. The dirt looks absolutely amazing versus the first time I came here. It was powder ass dry. So okay, so I was already able to take a little bit of that low end bog off the bottom out by just raising the idle a little bit. So that's good. I still might get into the metering rod. We'll see how she runs when we start plugging away, but right off the bat, my idle was a little too low, and I wanted to let you guys know that that helped tremendously. I'm able to spin that with my finger here with no screwdriver, so that's great. And I also have a little hour meter right here that reads out RPM, so that will be very handy in the event that maybe the spring on the screw doesn't have enough tension and it lets the idle back out. May or may not happen, but at least I can see that here. More luggability as well. It chugged up hills better. The front brakes are incredible on this bike. See if he goes through it. I was hoping he'd go through it and get all muddy. So already it has gobs more consistent power with less flat spots oscillating through those anyways. There's no inconsistencies. I would like a throttle cam on the throttle too with a shorter throw. You have to go pretty far back to open it up all the way, but so far that's my only complaint. What do you think of that thing?
She's a pig.
Big, huh?
She eats. She likes the baffle I put in.
The spark arrestor?
Yeah, spark arrestor.
Check out that pipe. It's sweet.
It got hot in there. Oh yeah, she got hot in there.
A little melty.
You really don't. Like if you're banging trails, hopping logs, hitting trees, rock washes, I truly believe Chinese are onto something, and it's in the next couple of years here, I wouldn't be surprised if you started seeing a lot more of them, really. With that being said, guys, we're gonna go screw on some more miles, yeah? Yeah,
you want to go down some kind of more tight stuff, or you want to stay on the flats for now? This gets pretty hairy if I remember correctly. It's just in the trees, we'll probably be slipping around in mud and all that sort of thing.
Now,
so
are you guys down? Let's go.
See what we got. Maybe a good idea, maybe a bad idea. A little muddy. As you can see, I'm no GNCC off-road pro, and I'm stuck on a root with my foot peg. Come on, Lundy! Dirt bags! This car carburetor is so much better. Better. You guys can probably hear it. Yep, this Lectron Carb kills it on this bike. And you remember Jay Way from video number 1. This is a good trail. You guys love this trail. I love this trail. You ready for some kind of chatter bumps, ups and downs, and some flow? All right. Starts easy. Got some oncoming traffic. No, we're good. Yeah, this you guys can hear the bike. It's just purring like a kitten. It's getting the fuel it needs, no more, no less. All I've done is raise the idle. I got it in the sweet spot. Got rid of that little bog on the bottom. The bike, we already know you guys like the bike or you wouldn't be here. Here comes Lundy. All right, guys, you can hear it. The difference is clear. The idle's a little high, but the power's on tap for this bike. So if you have a 2020 and it's got a stock carburetor, you need to head over to mXrevival.com. You guys can blast me a contact link. If you have any questions, I want to help you out. It's been the most rewarding thing ever, and man, you need this carburetor. And we are we're working on an option for the 21. You guys saw the boots are smaller and all that, so I'll get it figured out. I'll get it to you guys, and this is just awesome. Pumped. Lundy.
Yo.
How was that tight, choppy downhill flow stuff?
I could do that for hours.
Does the bike love that?
Yeah.
This one likes that too.
Yeah, no, it so incredibly so. I did. I just grabbed the clickers, went click, click twice.
Mm-hmm. Stiffer?
Just enough.
Okay.
So one thing though, I could use some more rebound.
A little slow. You packing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Packing, especially when we're coming down the chatter.
Get stuck.
But let's be honest. I think a Japanese bike would do that.
Yeah, my first video out here on this, I'm like, look, here's the deal. These are undersprung. This is what packing is.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's like these are not set up. They have the soft springs. The sag's not even checked. We got the tires at PSI on board, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. I mean, I'm having a blast. I always do. I mean, this carburetor is it's just working wonders on this.
How many hours you got on that thing now?
Probably about 3 or 4. I put the hour meter on.
So she still is pretty mint, like brand new.
Yeah, for sure.
So
yeah.
guys, if you're interested in what Charles is doing with his China bike, go over to
mXrevival channel.
Where else can they find you, bud?
mXrevival on Instagram, Facebook, same thing. Pretty heavy on build photos and progress on Instagram, and of course the YouTube channel is blossoming. Thanks to you guys.
Yep,
really appreciate it.
There's a sticker right there, mXrevival.
Oh, who's that?
He may have or may not have placed one on my bike somewhere that will be out of camera shot.
I completely forgot about both of them. Did you find the second one?
No, I found the first one.
All right, they're both covered in mud by now. Yeah, ride number 1 in the books with Lectron. Night and day different bike. That's a solution for the 20 right there. I'm gonna get you guys dialed on the 21 best I can too, and man, so great. That is the Lectron difference, my friends.
Don't copy me.
just checking you out, man. I want to be like you. I'm gonna play with my GoPro. And we had a good ass time on that first ride. I got oatmeal in my teeth. Sorry about that, boys and girls. Super fun. That Lectron Carb on that 2020. I kid you not, you guys can hear it. You can hear the revs, you can hear the way it idles. That is a huge up on that bike. Like I said, the stock carb will be fine for a lot of people, and for you that like to play with jets and swap brass, you'll probably have fun doing that. So no harm in using the stock carb, of course. But if you want more consistency and more power out of the bike, that Lectron really made a world of difference. And like I said, you guys, like I said, we took a look at the 2021 stuff together before we started riding. You guys know that's upcoming, so be sure to test that too, give you my feedback on it, try and jet it and get all the circuits to jive together in that carburetor and have some fun with it as well. So the carb tests will continue, but for today, for the sake of this Lectron specific test, really good. Stoked on it. So, and then I'm stoked to have some good company too.
What's that?
What a beautiful human you are, you know that?
No, God made me special.
Right. This bike really has to offer. Oh yeah, dude. That's pretty neat. Dude, what happened to your brake pedal, man?
I'll send you a clip of it.
Oh yeah, did you catch a root?
It was a root and a deep rut.
You caught the same one I caught.
She grabbed it and she put on the brakes.
Thing came out of nowhere. We are fueled up. We are aired down. We have one badass YouTuber, famous Clint Lund extraordinaire. Clint, don't forget the N.
That's right.
And that's very important. Yeah, oh shoot, signs? He's got signs. I don't know. This guy may be a little more gangster than I thought, but all right. Key on. Fires right up, man. This is the ticket. This is the hot ticket for 2020. What's up guys, I hope you're enjoying the video so far. I just wanted to give you a brief technical breakdown on how the Lectron works and why it works so well. And so real quick, while you guys are checking out some of this riding footage, I figured it'd be the perfect opportunity to just blast you with some science real quick. So basically, the reason the Lectron works so well is because there are far fewer jetting circuits in it than a traditional carburetor. For example, on a regular two-stroke carburetor, you have a main jet, a pilot jet, you have a air fuel screw that mixes with the pilot jet. You also then have the needle in the slide. The needle has a certain taper, as do others if you were to swap in other needles. And you can also raise or lower the needle in the slide with different clip positions. The size of the slide also plays a role, as well as a few other factors. And what happens essentially is all of those different components and circuits blend together to give you a nice, smooth, good running bike when you get the settings right. When you replace this style of carburetor with Lectron, essentially what you're doing is simplifying things. The Lectron only has two circuits. You could call them jetting circuits if you want, although the carburetor, as you probably have figured out, does not have jets. It's a jetless carburetor. It self-compensates for elevation and temperature. It is extremely fuel efficient, and it's about the closest thing you're going to get to EFI on a carbureted dirt bike, either 2 or 4-stroke. And at the end of the day, it's a part that just works, so there's no hype. You get it. It does what it's supposed to do. We build them at the factory just for you, just for your bike, so when you get the thing, you should be able to plug it in, set the idle, and do nothing. Occasionally, we do have an instance where somebody's running, let's say, a big bore, something really high compression, something a little bit off the beaten path. And so in those instances, we may have to do a little bit of tweaking. But when it comes to doing that, the Lectron is simple. Back to those two circuits that the Lectron has and why it's so simple to tune those two circuits. One circuit is the metering rod. Now the metering rod sits inside the slide just like a needle would in a regular carburetor, except in Lectron, the metering rod has a CNC cut precision profile that draws fuel up the flat side or the cut of the metering rod itself into the carburetor and then into the engine. The metering rod controls 0 to 50% throttle, more or less, and it can be richened or leaned simply by turning it clockwise or counterclockwise to the desired effect. That's it. That's all you have to do. And since most of the time we're right on the money 99% of the time with this spec from the factory anyways, most guys will never touch it. The second circuit is the power jet screw, which is located on the outside of the carburetor, which is really great. All you need to do is take a screwdriver to it to open it or close it to either add or delete fuel. This circuit is the 50% to 100% throttle range, and it simply works by the engine generating enough vacuum at RPM to physically suck fuel out of the bowl up the external line, at which point when it reaches the power jet screw itself, it simply dumps that fuel that the engine is requesting via vacuum into the carburetor's venturi, then into the engine, and then mates with that metering rod circuit, at which point you have both the metering rod circuit and the power jet circuit working together to deliver the fuel that the bike needs. Guys, we are having a blast out here. We are on pretty much the beginning of Jay's Way, Hollister Hills, California. We have freaking epic conditions today. Hero dirt on the China bikes. I know Lundy is a little bit impressed by what this bike can do. You guys already knew I was. The Lectron absolutely shreds. These bikes are so much fun. For what their target audience is, for what they cost, you guys already know this is a solid package and we're having a blast on them. You know, we're used to motocross bikes, so this is the right bike for this application. Couldn't be happier. Beautiful day, beautiful weather, beautiful dirt, good people.
Would you buy a Volkswagen Beetle to do road racing?
Of course not.
Would you buy a Toyota Yaris to go climb through the rocks?
Never heard of her.
Would you buy a Honda Civic to go drive up these hills?
Of course not.
Because that's not what they're for. 100%, guys. This is what these things are for. Try them out.
Oh man, what an awesome day. So much fun. Freaking ridiculous. That's how this bike was supposed to run. Absolutely. Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
All right, boys and girls, that concludes today's Lectron test on the SR300. It was a freaking blast. The bike runs top to bottom so much better. As you saw in the beginning of the video, the idle just about perfect. Had to raise it a little bit to clean up some bog on the bottom. I thought maybe I'd need to adjust the metering rod, being that it was too rich. Turns out the RPM was just a little low at idle. Turned that up just a little bit, everything cleared out. Bike runs great when it's warm. No adjustments, straight out of the factory, as is the power jet circuit, which is about 50 to 100% throttle. Absolutely screams. It needed no additional fuel or less fuel. Got the bike pretty hot later in the day, going through some tight, slow trails, hot enough to actually get some clutch fade where the cable actually slacks out a little bit. And even in those situations, it didn't have any hard starts. It did like a little bit more throttle opening, just like a little tiny crack of the throttle would get the thing to come back to life. So I noted that when the bike was hot, but overall really great. We went through slow stuff, fast stuff. It didn't freaking boggle at all. If you guys have any questions about the carb, I'd be more than happy to answer them. I'm here to help you. Go ahead and just drop them in the comments below. I'll get back to you as often as possible. So next up, I'll be taking the stock 2021 FCR carb that's gonna come in the 21 and up SR300 and try to get some settings for that. I'm gonna be torn though, because this thing, it's just good the way it is. Once I got used to the bike, I started gelling on the trails. I got a little more used to the bike in general, rolled the bars back a little bit, and I just started having an absolute blast. Super fun hanging with Clint today. Clint, thanks for coming.
You're welcome.
Hey Clint. And all in all, just a great day. We did about just a little under 30 miles of riding probably. How many kilometers is that?
Yeah, it was 42.2.
Crushed 42 scathing, brutal kilometers of absolute gnarly trails. No, just kidding. But we had an amazing time, an amazing ride. Great to get together. Great to do the Chinese takeover. And you know what, guys? If you're interested in this bike, you've already made up your mind. You're already here. You're already checking out the content. We're not trying to change your minds. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, so what? Clint and I had fun all day on these bikes. We had a blast. And so, you know, it makes no difference at the end of the day. But if it makes you happy, just do your thing. And I believe Clint has something he'd like to tell you.
I gotta chime in here, guys.
You gotta chime in.
So guys, one thing that I really have to make clear If you guys are enduro guys, if you're trail guys, if you love going out on the weekends, not to the track, but doing the trails, you need to check these out from a very unbiased opinion. I'm not being paid, Charles isn't being paid to make any of these recommendations to you. We're not commies. We are gun-loving Californians. We love
we're pissed that Trump lost too.
Yeah, so I mean, guys, to be very honest with you, check the tags on your clothes, check the back of your phone, check your microwave, check your TV at home. It's all made in China. Just because we pick some dirt bikes that are made from China doesn't make us on one side or the other. We're just trying to get some info for you guys to help you make an educated decision on your next buy. Having said that, guys, thank you for having me out today, man. I had a freaking blast. He gave me tacos and I couldn't say no.
That was it. That's all it took. So if you want this guy to come to your house, just Clint, I got tacos.
That's
all it takes.
Yeah,
so,
I'll be there.
Guys, thanks for watching. We both appreciate you very, very sincerely, and we hope you enjoy the content.
Click subscribe.
Yep, until next time, we're going to keep making clicks and tweaks on these bikes. We got many more mods coming, some surprises you haven't seen yet. And again, thank you very much for being here with us.
Peace out.
I love you.
Bye.
Love you, my friend.
Yes.
You want to go do karate in the garage?
Click. Yes, I do.
Yeah, baby! Feet out! Get those feet out! Mystic trail, and as you can tell, it's very mystic. First gear ruggability on the Lectron, really good, no hiccups.